Smoke Wagon 45 here with the M1 Garand. And actually, as you can see on the wall behind me, I actually have two M1 Garands, so no real need to pull the other one down. They're basically the same from what you can see on camera. But I will tell you the differences. Back in the day, I was living in Rockford, Illinois. My dad and I went to Pecatonica County Fair, and I was looking for an M1 Garand. That was my mission. I found a gentleman, they had, I don't know, 3 or 4, and I picked one up for myself. And I think back in the day it was like 600 bucks. And it was in really nice condition. Loved that rifle, shot it a lot. And then I also purchased 3 more M1 Garands, and I kept one for my father, and that's the one above my shoulder here. And his original stock, I still have his original stock, but I put this new stock on it because I like it, it looks good. I was getting into cowboy action shooting, so I was going to sell one of them. But I went back through both of them, and I realized that mine was kind of a real mutt. A lot of mismatched parts and pieces and stuff from different manufacturers, because there was many back in World War II. And when I got the 3 for one of them for my dad and 2 for a couple of friends of mine, when I received them, I took all 3 of them apart, and I just was picking kind of what I liked best. And they were all the same. It's all Springfield Armory. What I didn't realize at the time is they're all real close to the same time frame. So you could almost say, put the original stock back on that, and that's how it came out of the factory. And not too many people would be able to argue that point, because all of the serial numbers and markings are really close to a certain date. And I can't remember the date. I think it's all 1941-ish, the end of 1941 dates on it, but I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while since I tore it apart and looked at it. But I'm like, well, I'm going to keep that one, and since I bought that one for my dad, I'm going to keep that one. So that's what that one is. I sold mine to buy the cowboy guns, and it was in wonderful condition. But this one here, I was working for a private security company, and we were contract employees with Department of Homeland Security, ICE, at the prison. And I was a detention lieutenant, he was an officer, and we were talking about World War II guns and stuff. And he has got a little bit of a collection of them, and I had a little bit of a collection of them, and I had an M1 carbine also, which he was interested in. So he invited me down to look at his latest purchases, and this was one of them. This is mostly Winchester receiver, a lot of other Winchester parts on there. But what they did at CMP is they took this rifle apart, they refinished all of the metal, they installed a brand new barrel and brand new wood. So in effect, this is a brand new Winchester from the CMP, and it is beautiful. It definitely looks brand new and everything. I can't see any pitting. Of course my eyes suck, but even a couple years ago when we made the trade, because I traded my M1 carbine to him, which was a very nice M1 carbine, and it was a little bit odd because the forearm had a little bulge in it, and I can't remember what, I think they call it like the pot-belly pig M1 carbine. So that was mostly unique to that gun. So we traded even for this. And like I said, most everything in here is Winchester, except the trigger group. And I think it's either the trigger or the safety, I can't remember which, is was not Winchester. But he had a second one there that he was also interested in possibly selling. It had the Winchester trigger group and more Winchester parts in it than the original one did. So I asked him to swap that, and he hauled a little bit, so I said, I'll just buy it from you. So actually I have the original trigger group that came out of this one from the CMP, and then that Winchester one. And so this one has mostly Winchester parts and pieces in it also. But it's in perfect condition. Shoot. Straight out of the box, took it to the range, putting the rounds on target, no problem. Beautiful in all aspects. But that's the M1 Garand. Love it. Love that ping noise. Smoke Wagon 45 out.